Hi, my name is Jackson Kinton, and I have the wonderful opportunity of being able to teach your son or your daughter this upcoming school year for AP Chemistry. And so just first want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Just a little bit about me so you can kind of know who's going to be interacting with your son or daughter. Like I said, my name is Jackson Kinton. I have been teaching for a total of 8 years now. And all of those years, I've been here at Enloe High School. It's been such an awesome experience. I've been learning so much, and I'm happy to be here. And this is my 4th or 5th year teaching AP Chemistry. And so I'm really excited just about the fact that we're going to be in person and we're going to have opportunities to be together, to do labs together, and things like that. And so as you're watching this video, my hope and my desire is that you'll have a better understanding of what you can expect for this particular class, kind of knowing how to access things, what are we going to cover in this course, how you can contact me, and some of the other resources that we're going to be using in AP Chemistry. And so the first thing I would like to say is just talk a little bit about AP Chemistry as a course. So obviously this is a AP course. It's produced by College Board. And the really neat thing about this course is that it's the equivalent of 2 college-level chemistry classes. And so what that means is that as students are preparing, as they get to the end of the school year and they take the AP exam, they have the opportunity to earn up to 8 college credits in the field of chemistry. You could, if you relate this to something like at NC State, it would be the equivalent of Chem 101 and Chem 201 is what they're going to be covering, and they have the potential to earn those credits depending on how well they do on the AP exam. And so another component within that is College Board and AP Chemistry. There's a focus on lab-based practices. And so you might be wondering, well, because we're back in person, will we still be able to do labs? And that's the plan. The plan is to be able to implement hands-on labs that we did not get to do in that virtual environment. So that's something that I'm personally looking forward to, again, of being able to have students work in labs together. So the next thing that I want us to take a look at is looking at the learning management software that we're going to be using for this particular course. And so this year I'm going to be using Canvas with AP Chemistry. It has a lot of features that Google Classroom does not. And so we're just going to be taking advantage of some of those features. And so I just want to take you on just a brief tour of how you can access things and how things are going to be set up. So if I click on this course, AP Chemistry, it's going to take me to the home page. And on the home page, you're going to get a picture. You got my name, you got a picture of me and my family, and then you've got my email. That is going to be the best way to contact me if you have a question or a concern. That goes for you as the parent or even your son and daughter. If they have a question, email me at jkinton@wcpss.net, and I will try to respond to that as quickly as possible. So that's going to be the best way to get in touch with me. And then looking over here, the things that we're going to be kind of paying attention to are going to be announcements, modules, and assignments. Like it says in announcements, that's going to be where I maybe post something as just as a reminder to students of, hey, you've got a quiz or a test coming up. Make sure you study for that. Modules is where I'm going to be uploading the majority of the materials that we're going to be using for this course, whether it's the YouTube videos that I produced last year, if it's documents, PowerPoint presentations, activities, things are going to go into those modules so students will know what it is that we're doing. Now, if I click on this, now this is a work in progress because it's a new software that I'm using this year, but you can already see for the beginning of the year materials, I've got the YouTube video playlist, which has access to videos that I made last year that students can watch. You got the policies and course sequence that's here. And then you've got C in Unit 1. That's what we've been working on in class the past week and a half. You can see the different things that are there that students can look at. And so my hope is by the end of the year, I'm going to have everything for all 9 units of AP Chemistry that's posted here. Now, within this, I do want to take some time to look at the policies and course sequences since the syllabi. And so when I click on that, I'm going to make it full screen here. And it's just going to take you to this page. Again, you've got my information, my room number, my email address, and how we're using Canvas. It starts off with some class rules, and just things to be aware of. I think this is common sense stuff. In terms of class materials, the one thing that I want to note is what's listed here with the computer and the charger. There is an expectation that students will be bringing a laptop with their charger on a day-to-day basis in the event that we're using devices in class. And so make sure that your son or daughter has access to that, whether it's their own personal one or if it's the Chromebook that you're able to receive from the school. But make sure that they have that with them on a day-to-day basis. Next thing I want to draw our attention to are assessment details. And so in AP Chemistry, a student's grade is going to be based on two categories. It's going to be based on summative assessments and learning assignments. And so what we've got listed here for summative assessments, those are going to be the tests that occur at the end of each unit, any lab practicals, lab reports, and major projects that students are going to work on. That's going to be in that summative assessments category. That will constitute 60% of a student's quarter grade. The second category are these learning assignments. So these things that are assignments are a little bit smaller, but this is where quizzes, short activities, lab sheets, and small projects are going to be calculated, as well as Canvas assignments. And this will be 40% of a student's quarter grade. Okay, we've got the makeup work policy here. It's in line with Wake County's policy. If a student is out and they know that they're going to be out for, let's say, a field trip or some sort of opportunity like a college tour or something like that, your son or daughter will just need to come and check with me and say, hey, Mr. Kinton, I'm going to be out. What do you need me to do while I'm out? Right now, if it's something that's unexpected, someone gets sick, something like that, student comes back, then they need to talk to me the first day they come back so we can figure out a plan for how they're going to be able to make up that work. And that's going to kind of fall in line with the county policy. If it's an absence of 1 to 3 days, the student gets a day to be able to make that up, right? So if it's 1 day to make it up. If it's 3 days, you get 3 days to make it up. If your absences go beyond those 3 days, then you get 2 days per each day that you were absent. Okay. The other thing that I want to kind of clarify here is the late work policy. So the expectation, this is a college level course. Students are expected to turn in their work by the due date and when they're assigned. In the event that a student does not meet that expectation and something has to be turned in late, the late work will be accepted. There will be a final date for when that late work will be accepted, however, and this is going to be something that you'll see school-wide for all classes. Those dates are 10/18, 1/7, 3/21, and 5/27. And this is just for one thing, to be consistent so that there can be this like final date of this is when the last amount of late work can be due. And it's going to help teachers out so that they have that time leading up to the quarter ending to be able to finalize grades and grade any remaining work so we can meet that deadline. Okay. The other thing I want to draw your attention to here is the course sequence. So AP Chemistry is going to be split into 9 different topics. You've got atomic structure and properties, molecular and ionic structure, compound structure and properties, intermolecular forces and properties, chemical reactions, kinetics, thermodynamics, equilibrium, acids and bases, and applications of thermodynamics. And so looking at that, that means that throughout the course of the year, students are going to have 9 tests. And the expectation, at least my expectation, is that we would cover each of probably 3 units per quarter. And so you're looking at it, you're probably thinking, well, there are 4 quarters, Mr. Kinton. Why are you trying to cover 3 per quarter? And the hope would be that we cover these topics so that by the end of 3rd quarter, we've covered all the material before leading up to the AP exam so that time can be spent at the end of the year reviewing, going back over things that we learned previously, and giving students an opportunity to practice preparing for that AP exam. There's just a classroom wish list, things that I would highlight here that would be very helpful. Distilled water and nitrile gloves, those are probably the 2 biggest things that'll be helpful, at least in terms of lab supplies and in terms of being able to get access to those things to make sure that we've got access to proper personal protective equipment, as well as being able to use distilled water for making solutions, right? So that would be the policies and procedures for the course. Obviously, if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. The next thing that I want to draw your attention to is that we will be using a resource called AP Classroom. And in the coming days, I'm actually going to have students be joining AP Classroom through their College Board account. It'll give them access to AP Classroom videos that College Board has produced. It'll give them additional practice and things like that so that they have other ways that they can access this material. And again, like I said, we'll be going over this and how students can join this in class in the coming days. And then the absolute last thing that I want to share with you guys before I let you go, and again, thank you so much for your time. This is the textbook that we're going to be using. It's the 9th edition of the Brown and LeMay chemistry textbook. Each of your children, your sons and daughters, they have a physical copy that they have access to. That's their personal copy, and that they'll have to return to me at the end of the year. But so they have access to that. And we also have enough that in the classroom that students don't have to worry about bringing their textbook to class. And so I think that's a huge benefit. So just wanted you to be aware of that. If for whatever reason, I'm not saying that you have to do this. If someone wants to go and purchase the textbook, that's perfectly fine. But I am in no way, shape, or form saying you have to do that. So that's just a little bit about what you can expect from AP Chemistry this year. I just want to say again, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, the privilege to be able to teach your son or daughter. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And I look forward to working with you all throughout the rest of the school year. Thank you so much. Have a great day.